Hi guys, it's me again with another custom pair of Converse for you. I'm going to be doing another portrait of XXXTentacion. I cover the whole shoe with white, marked out roughly the portrait face, just the rough details, and then what I've done is gone round and done some of the background already. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting in the very first flesh tones, and for that I always start off with beige, and I get a couple of coats of that on so it's nice and solid, and then I'll move on to add in light browns, saddle, dark browns, blacks, highlights and things like that. So I'll crack on. Every now and again I'm adding a little bit of white, so it's kind of a bit of a grey, more of a grey tone at the minute. And then if your brush gets a little bit dry, just add a little bit of water to it, because this is just a very base coat, so you can't really do anything wrong. And with everything, it always, no matter what I'm painting, it always takes a while to kind of come together. So I think the important thing is to just keep going with it. If you make a mistake, you can paint over it again. It's no big deal. So, you know, I'm always doing that. I'm always making mistakes and correcting little bits and bobs, and you're just trying to get that lightness though, you know. So when I start doing the features, I usually start with the eyes. Not everybody does, people start in different places, but to me, if I don't get the eyes right, then you know, the whole portrait's not going to look right. So it's a good, for me personally, it's a good place I find to start. Okay, so now I'm going to put some colour, a little bit of colour into the forehead area. I'm going to start around here and just basically get his forehead blocked in. I'm using a filbert. Again, it's quite a battered one, but it's good for kind of blending the colour in. So I'm going to use a kind of a damp brush and a little bit of saddle. And then, as you can see, very gently put some colour on, rinsing my brush now, and then I'm going to just kind of move it around a little bit so that it's not so harsh, and get in that basic shape of the forehead and the shadowing coming in. On the reference photo that I'm using, around here there's quite a kind of a shiny highlight, so I'm going to have a little bit, again a damp brush, lightly damp. Every time I rinse my brush, I have some cloth at the side of me, so I just take the excess off on there, but it's still wet, as you can see. So now I'm taking the excess off again. Okay, and then rinsing my brush. That's what that noise is. Okay, and then I'll keep going back to bits and keep going over them again. Just kind of blend it in a little bit more. What you don't want is kind of harsh seams around things where the colour changes. Let's put a little bit more saddle. Back to the saddle again now. A bit more there into his hair. Just gradually adding in the tones in. And like I say, I'll revisit areas until I'm happy. And even after I think I've finished something, you know, I moved on to another area, very often when you start adding other features, I find that I'll have to go back over an area that I thought was okay. But when when you say, for example, put the eyebrows and the eyes in, I may do some more work on his forehead and things like that. So I'm always reworking and adding to. Going back to a little bit of white. That looks like a hell of a lot of white, but what I do is just rinse my brush and then just have a little damp clean brush and just kind of blend it in a little bit so it's not quite so harsh. I feel as though I want to put a little bit more in here as well on this bit. Now it's dry, and again rinse my brush, dab it so that it's almost dry, and go over it again. Look. Okay, so dry it again, blend it in. A little bit more. I'm going to start working on the eyes now, the eyebrows and the eye themselves. So back into the saddle again. Bit of blending. A wet brush again. Blend it in a little bit. So I'm just going to add some more eyebrows. On the other side, where his nose. Okay, don't worry too much about that eyebrow disappearing into the background because I will add some highlights on it, I guess. Okay, back into the black again. And then in the corner of his eye, quite a dark shadow there. I love this reference photo of X. He's a very handsome guy. The challenge he's going to be doing is particularly doing his teeth. He's got his mouth open and he's smiling. And I just think it's a great, very natural shot of him. So we'll see how that one goes. All being well, I can kind of say this on here now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this particular pair will be going to Cleo. I've been asked to do some shoes for the launch gifts of his new album, Skins. So I've sent a few pairs already to the record company, and this is the third pair that I'm just finishing off. So all being well, I don't want to speak too soon, but you may see these or some of the others that I've done. A little bit more of the sable around his forehead, by the way, guys. You may see these or the other two pairs hopefully, maybe on social media, maybe at the party. I believe that there's going to be a big party in, I think it's in Florida, for Empire. So the rumour is that one of these pairs that I've done will go to a couple of special guests, and one of them being Jahseh's mum. So I'm really thrilled, kind of scared, but really thrilled about that. It's a massive honour to be asked to make them. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll see what happens there. If you get a chance, if you go on, there's some amazing fan art as well, by the way. I'm sure you've probably seen it, but if you get a chance to go on, I'm mainly on Instagram, I'm most active on here, and there's a lot of pages set up in tribute to X, but there's also a lot of people, amazing art that's being made from fans all over the world, and I just think it's awesome that it's having such a positive effect on people, you know, that they're feeling inspired by him to paint and to draw and to do beautiful works of art. I love that about art. I mean, I know music is the same, but you know, it inspires people. I just think it's amazing, and I've absolutely loved looking at all the work that people are putting on. Okay, so let's change to my short liner, which has seen way better days, but it's perfect for this. Okay, let's have a look. I'm going to put back into the saddle colour again. I'm going to put a little wash of that in, and on the reference photo it tends to go up there a little bit, and then there's a bit there on the end. Okay, just there I kind of blocked out the dark colour around his eye. He's laughing while he's smiling, so we've got some little laughter lines to do. Okay. There's a little bit of darker colour there. Let's just get my other brush, which I'm going to leave quite wet, and just do that. So moving across to this side of his face, you can't really see this bit for eyelashes, which obviously I've not put on yet, but you can see that part of his cheek. His eyelashes kind of come from here. Again, I'm not too concerned yet because I will add some little highlights on them here so you can see them. But I just want to get it looking roughly right. So let's go into some brown, and I'm now going to block in his nose a little bit more at the bottom. So let's go round his nostril. Okay, now on the reference under here, a little bit of water on my brush. Now on the end of the nose, there's a little bit of dark It's amazing actually when I'm painting it. When I put the tattoos on, it makes it. It makes it complete. I'm not used to seeing him with the facial tattoos, that when he hasn't got them, it looks so different. Okay, so what I'm going to do with here, I'm going to put a little bit of, so what I said I was going to do with his eyebrows, just, it's not going to be that severe, don't worry. I'm going to tone that down, but so I can add the 3 little dots.